going on, world? What's going on? What's going on? You now in tune to Reflective Thinking. I'm your host, Juan is, aka Juan. And something that I just started up. Just decided to do. I feel that I got some things to say. And, maybe you got some people who might want to listen to it. So, shit. With that being said, we're gonna jump right on into it. And got a couple topics written down that I'm gonna break down all through my little series, my podcast journey, and one of them is if the younger you met the you now, what do you think he'll say? Would he be proud of you? Would he cuss you the fuck out? Would he punch you in the face? He or she? That's an interesting question. That shit is I think about that probably more than a little bit, and I think that stems from maybe regret or just that if I knew then what I knew now, you know what I mean? And sometimes that shit can be reversed too. Sometimes the younger you might have to come, what I'm saying? The younger you might have to snap the future you out of some type of slump that you in. Nigga, like nigga, we don't do this. Like nigga, shake that shit off. Nigga, like nigga, where you don't remember me, nigga? Like nigga. Like so it's I don't know, I just thought about that topic, man. I thought I should talk about it. Like if you really just ask yourself that, like, damn, like, in the coldest time to ask yourself that is go on and go to your gallery and look at it, pull up an old ass picture of yourself and just dwell on that and be like, if this version of me met the me now, would it be would we embrace each other with open arms, or would that nigga be like, nigga, I gotta nigga, bitch, I gotta say, bitch, I gotta talk to you. Or what I'm saying, how would that altercation, how would that interaction even go down? You know what I mean? Would it be a joyful one, or would it be, a sight to see? You just two doppelgangers going at it. You know what I mean? Like that shit is that shit deep. I'm a deep thinker. I'm a Gemini, by the way. So excuse the ramble. I'm gonna be all over the place in this motherfucker now. Now that I start this shit, I now got a platform to take the thoughts out of my head and put them on somewhere now. So, but yeah, that is that's deep, and I don't think we think about that enough because we often I just had a son. My son is 2 years old. I just had a son, and through watching him and other siblings and cousins growing up, I through watching kids, man, you start to see the innocence in their eyes, man. You see it's like it's like a default character almost. Not even saying like they don't have nothing to offer yet, like they don't have no gifts already out the womb, because that they already branded. God already put his mark on each and every one of them. But I'm saying, like, so far as the letdown, the disappointment, like, for example, you can give your child a spanking, and 5 minutes later he'll be on your lap, jumping on your lap, like completely forget that you just whooped his ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's unconditional love. That's agape love. You feel me? Like, that's in on top of not knowing no better. Not, you know what I mean? Just like, man, like, do you remember just being that young and spiteful to where you couldn't wait to grow up? Do you remember that? Do you remember being at that point to where you was just in a rush to really, nigga, you didn't even know what you was in a rush to do. Like, the shit that we thought grown people did, we ended up finding out that we can do that shit, drink. We do that shit at 18, 19, sometime maybe 16, depending on where you at, where you stay at, what hood you in. You know what I mean? But so you driving and all that shit, you know what I mean? Like that's not even being an adult. Like but we thought that was. I mean, I can't wait to be old so I can drive around, go where I want. I ain't gotta come back. I ain't gotta come back when you say come back, and you know what I mean. I can come walk in the house at wee hours in the morning, and you know what I mean. I can have company and woom. You know what I mean? Like, that was to us. That was, you know what I mean. That was, we thought we was doing something with that, and little did we know that wasn't even that wasn't even considered being an adult. That was just little perks. Nigga, I got a car to drive, nigga, to pay these bills. Nigga, that was just a perk. We ain't had we ain't had no idea, man. It's kind of humorous, man. It's real funny when you think about it, man. Cause man, we was just this is what we was in a rush to get to, and not making it like a depressing, sorry thing, but you know what I mean. But when they tell you to slow down, and you didn't understand what they meant by that, man, now you know. And I'm 35. I'm just now like, okay, yeah. Yeah, it was just, I don't think I'm just gonna be a 15-minute episode, but I wish I can go a little bit more in depth uh, on the topic, but I really don't. I ain't got nothing in the holster right now. I told you I'm just starting this up. It's gonna flow as the episodes go on. I'm that's what the spirit is telling me, so I'm gonna keep at it. But that was just a funny topic that I thought I'd bring up. You know what I mean? Like you should ask, if you that's a good smoking conversation right there when y'all hotboxing in the car. Like nigga, if the younger you met the you now, nigga, who you think will win in the fight, nigga? Nigga, would the younger you fuck you up, nigga? Cause nigga, you off hella pills, nigga, or do you think the future you could take the younger you, nigga, and you done lost 20 pounds? Like you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that, bro. How you scratching your head? Like damn. Cause 9 times if your answer, how what I came to the if your answer is the younger you would be mad at you, or if you think the younger you would have the advantage over the you now, you got a problem. I think it's a problem, and it's something that needs to be addressed in you know what I mean, personally, like you know what I mean, like because this is shit that I had to ask myself, like, and the younger me won every time. The younger me would win every time in every situation, every segment in my life that I was in, and I re-ask myself that question. You know what I mean? Like, damn, okay, now I'm a little bit established. You know what I mean? Well, if that nigga rock up on me now, if 21-year-old or 23-year-old one rock up on me now, what would he? You know what I mean? What? That shit is a trip. Little food for thought. You know what I'm saying? But hey, like I said, man, I just God bless me and just told me, man, just use what you got, man. I'm getting out of that robotic working, trying to, you know what I mean, that nine. I'm trying to pull myself away from that 9 to 5 and shit and try to use what God gave me, man, and what my 35 years of living God been showing me is people like to hear me talk. So hopefully that shit that frequency reaches somebody ear gate or somebody needs to hear this, needed to hear this, maybe make somebody laugh, you know what I mean, make somebody day. But